wiping me, baby. Keep 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 wiping me, baby. You're wiping in the wrong place. Right there, right there, right there.
Hello all, and welcome back to my channel, Red Femme Diaries. Oh, I miss you all so much. I've been gone for almost a month now, and some of you may have known, some of you may not, but I had COVID, and it seems I had the long haul COVID, the one that lasts for a long time. So I had it, and my husband had it also. So we were down for a very long time. So I have not been able to create any content. And then I lost momentum, I'll be honest with you. I've just started feeling better this last week. I went back to work. But here I am. I'm not going to, go too deep into that. In the comment section, I will list the vitamin regimen that we take that helped us to finally start to fight it, because some people experience COVID symptoms for months. And that's the type that I have. So I will leave a comment with the different vitamins that we take specifically for COVID. Also, some of you may know that I was on the brink of losing my job because of the vaccine mandate. I don't believe in taking the vaccine. I was down to the wire. I put in a religious exemption. They didn't accept it at first, but I reworded it. And so now I am exempt. I still have my job. So I was nervous about that, because if I didn't have my job, this is where I get my income and my benefits. I was going to really look to this channel to make money. And in order to make money on this channel, I would have to change some of the things I say. Because right now I had almost 2,000 viewing hours. We need 4,000 to get monetized. I'm back down to 200 hours because I have a lot of strikes for copyright violations, certain things that I say. I have so many strikes. So this channel right now still is keeping it 100. I'm not going to be monetized anytime soon. I lose subscribers. I watch my numbers. I lose subscribers all the time because some of the things I say, but I'm completely okay with that because I still have my job right now. I got my religious exemption. I don't have to take the vax. So this video here, I'm going to be, discussing R.Kelly. And I'm going to say right now, because it's a kind of a hot topic right now, I'm a little late because, like I said, I had the COVID, so I'm a little behind. But so I know there might be some people here that have not listened to my channel. So understand this is my diary. These are my thoughts, my feelings, my views. There's a large probability that you will not like the things that I have to say. But what I would suggest is just to click off. You don't need to subscribe. I know I'm supposed to say like and subscribe, but unsubscribe. But I'm gonna say what it is, right now, because I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this for truth. So here we go. So first off, I want to acknowledge that, R.Kelly is, he a freak. I'm not even gonna lie about that. He has, he definitely has lots of issues. Here's a man that had, money, fame, wealth, all these things at his disposal. And I definitely believe that he took advantage of those things, and he took advantage of people. So that's not what this video is about. Those of you that have been kind of with me since my Poor Man podcast, introduction, kind of know that I have I like to look at a situation. I like to look at it from a different angle than from what everyone else looks at it. And so right now, everyone is throwing stones at R.Kelly. I get that. We know that he's been convicted, and I guess they're going to do sentencing next May. So I'm not going to discuss all of those things. I'm just going to discuss a few things that I've noticed, and I'm going to give you my weird little red film diary twist on these things. So as I typically do, and this is why I have so many copyright strikes, I'm going to post some videos, some clips of the situation that I've seen, and I'm going to give my little 2 cents with a different perspective. So I'll first say this, and I already said this, R. Kelly just seems like, the thing about it is we have to realize that stars and famous people, they're still human. I think sometimes we give them superhuman status, but they're still people. And I would think that if, let's take me, but I'm going to take you guys. If I was given money, fame, and fortune and all these things, I wonder what things I would do. So it's hard for me to throw stones at R. Kelly because I know I have some things that I struggle with, and I wonder what I would do. But like I said, this is not to prop him up. It's just a different perspective. So we're gonna do our first clip here, and I'll let the clip play, and I'll speak during the clip. But one of my main things about the situation is, he's going down. They're throwing the book at R. Kelly. They're talking about life for him. But I can't help but really wonder about all the other people around him that saw the things going on, that even enabled it. And if he's going down for racketeering, doesn't that mean you have a whole network? So I can't help but wonder what happens to the rest of these people that sat back and watched all these horrific things happen and did absolutely nothing. And a lot of the clips are going to come from that documentary that they did on him, Surviving R. Kelly. And I think that was kind of terrible. Literally a whole documentary about how horrible a person was. But everyone in the documentary seemed like they were confused and lost and didn't know what was happening. And I'm about to do my voice, but I'm going to call BS. So let's look at this first clip. We're going to take a look, and I'm going to do some commentary on it. Okay. Welcome back. And thank you guys for being patient with me while me and my husband and family went through this COVID situation. So here we go. Let's take a look at our first clip.
When I went down to the studio, I could see what kind of lifestyle Rob was living and what was going on in his life. And it didn't look good to me. There was a bedroom in the main room of the studio. There was girls everywhere. There was a young girl sitting, and she had to be, I haven't checked her ID, I don't know, but anywhere between 15 to 17 to 18. She was a teenager. She was young. You can tell what's young. I don't know if they were together. And I went to another room. There was a girl in that room with the lights out, waiting. There was another girl in this lounge over there, lights out, waiting. And I'm telling Reed, my business partner, what the hell is going on?
Okay, so here's where sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that last part, but okay, so here's where I have some questions. So R. Kelly is facing a minimum of 10 years to life in prison, and he's a horrible monster. I get all that. That's fine. So I'm not questioning that. But what about this guy? What about this guy? So in this little documentary where people got their little 15 minutes of fame, he admits that he went in there and he saw all these young girls and everything just laying all around, and he's acting, this is a music producer, so he's acting like he's never seen this before. So he made a decision not to say a daggone thing when he saw girls that he thought looked as young as 15, but he made a decision not to say anything. So is this man innocent? My thing is, if you're going to charge this man with racketeering and all these sex trafficking, all these different things, what about these people? What about this guy? Use my cursor here. What about this guy? What about all the bodyguards and everyone that got the women and brought them there and saw what was going on? If you bring him down, shouldn't everybody go down? And to be honest with you, I'm more disgusted with a guy like this, that you saw the things that were happening and you made a decision to not say nothing, right? You didn't say anything. And what sickens me about this little documentary that they did is you have all these people coming on here acting confused, and I didn't know what was going on. I saw young girls I didn't know. You've exposed yourself. So basically what you're saying to me is you fully knew what was going on, but you made a decision to turn a blind eye because of money, fame, and wealth. So I'm sorry, the same money, fame, and wealth that made R. Kelly be the monster that everyone is saying that he is, you were subject to that same money, fame, and wealth, were you not? So should you, producer guy, not be on trial as well? Okay, so we're going to go to our next little video here, because you know how I do it. I'm not only going to look at the men, I'm going to look at the women too. So let's take a look at our next video.
The first threesome we had, he told me he had never had one before. So that's how he initiated it. And I agreed to it because I felt like he was who he is, a star. And if he never had a threesome, I felt like that I could do that for him. But after we did the threesome, he wanted more threesomes and more threesomes. And that's when it was like, okay, this is getting out of hand.
Okay. And you were not bisexual really at all?
No.
Okay, you were just doing it to please.
I mean, I can appreciate a beautiful woman, but no, I don't crave for women.
Yeah, well, a lot of times women will have threesomes for the
Right.
man, to please the man. That's a very, very common thing. Okay. And the first threesome you had, was it with an underage girl?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so it was an older woman.
Not older. She was more my age, probably about 17, 18, so she wasn't underage.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. I know everyone sees, victim and this Lisa Van Allen woman. I guess I just see something different, because here she clearly states she tries to distance herself from any allegations of sex with a minor. Oh no, she was of age, she was 17 or 18, just like me, is what she says. So she's trying to distance herself from those types of allegations, but yet she was clearly a willing participant in threesomes with this woman, simply because he was R.Kelly and he had money and fame, and so she was a part of it. So I guess what I'm talking about here is not, like I said, it's not so much about R.Kelly and the things that he did. He's a terrible guy. I'm not saying that. I'm just really wanting to look at some of these other people that are trying to either distance themselves or make themselves out to be victims, like this woman here. 17, she was just a baby. She didn't know. Please, at 17, you fully are aware of what's going on. You know right from wrong, and she participated in threesomes. And I'm sorry, I just cannot accept, a victim status. You were a willing participant because of who he was. Now, this next video I'm going to get into, I really want to get into that, because I think the thing that confuses us is because these women are just so sorrowful and sad, and I want to look at, what if R. Kelly wasn't who he was? What if he wasn't rich, a multimillionaire, worldwide famous? I mean, he worked with Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson. I mean, a chart topper. What if he wasn't who he was? Would he be on trial like this? And would all these women be coming out of the woodwork, acting like as if they were victims, if he was not who he was? So we're going to look at this next story, and hold tight, guys, because if you don't like what I'm saying up until now, you're really not going to like this next one. But sorry, I got to be honest about it. So let's take a look at this next woman's story, and we're going to imagine, what if R. Kelly was not who he was? Would we be going through this? Okay, so let's take a look.
visiting him, it was mainly about sex. I felt like a sex object. You know, he would say, I still want to help you with your career. Music was my joy. So I felt like my dreams were going to come true. I just kind of like listened to him and said, okay, you know, and stayed there by myself. So I was very fearful. Wouldn't hear from him for days, and then he would come back, and it was just sex and abuse and mental and physical abuse.
And here we have R.Kelly, who's saying, I will help you create a career. But he never intended to do that. And here again, women trying to move up in good faith. I am a singer, I will listen to you, I will... And he's just like, I'm just gonna take you and take your body.
Okay, so here's the part where I say some things that aren't very pleasant. So this man is saying that women are coming in good faith, right? Saying that I'm a singer and I just want to sing, but I'm sorry, I don't have sympathy for those that take the back door. I mean, a lot of women felt that I'm beautiful and I can, you know, backdoor my way in and sleep my way to the top. And some women have successfully done that. But just because you were not successful in your attempts to sleep your way to the top doesn't make you a victim in my book. I know this sounds horrible. But this woman was clear. She knew who R.Kelly was. And I'm sorry, 17 and 18, you're not helpless. I mean, 17 and 18-year-olds get convicted for serious crimes. I'm sorry. You made a decision to try to somehow sleep your way into fame and fortune because you had R.Kelly. And I'm so sorry that it didn't work out for you. I'm sorry. But does he deserve life imprisonment for this particular crime? I don't know. When I was 17, you know what I was doing? I wasn't sleeping with multi-millionaire R&B famous people. I was working at a movie theater. I was covered in popcorn grease, okay? Making $4.25 an hour. I don't get a special saying how horrible my life was. You were sleeping with a famous man, thinking that you were going to get fame and fortune like him, and it didn't work out. I'm sorry. But are you a victim? I don't know. Maybe so. Like I said, I could be wrong. Maybe she is a victim. But to me, it's 17, 18, 19, and you're having sex with this famous man. I feel you fully knew what you were doing. And if you didn't want to do it, you wouldn't have. But, I don't know. Gonna get a lot of backlash for this. But let's now look at our next video. This is
February 18, 2003. I get a phone call to come down and do his hair. When he came to the room and he asked me for that head massage, and I told him I didn't do massages, I laughed it off. And I didn't know he was for real. If I could change that day, I wouldn't have been there. He pulled my braid down by him, and he said, suck it for daddy, suck it for daddy. And I said, no, and I did like this, and he just started going. He did it like six times.
Carter says Kelly stopped only after someone knocked on the door.
He didn't open the door right away. He says, fix your face. Fix your motherfucking face. I knew that'd be my last day there. And I get to the bathroom, I grab the wall, and it was a rose-colored towel. I wipe my face. I'm not dressed no type of way. I look at myself in the mirror like, I'm not a beauty queen. I didn't perceive myself to be nothing more than just his hair braider. And I just kept thinking, to myself, like, why did this happen to me?
You called the police the day that this happened?
The exact day. They asked for my clothing. And I gave them my favorite Tommy Hilfiger shirt. And that's where they found DNA evidence.
DNA evidence from R.Kelly on your shirt.
Semen.
At the time, charges were not filed in Carter's case. Shauna Bolliker, who was then the lead sex crimes prosecutor, has not responded to our multiple requests for comment.
Celebrities are powerful. Celebrities have support systems. I have no support system outside of my immediate family.
10 months after the incident, Carter signed a $650,000 settlement in which Kelly denied any wrongdoing, and Carter agreed to keep quiet.
Okay, so I definitely do not want to take away from this woman's experience and, you know, how terrible of an experience this was, but because my mind is different, I can't help but look at this in a different perspective. I honestly, I can't help it. So this woman tells a story. She's R. Kelly's hair braider, and at the end there she talks about, I'm not a beauty queen, I'm not pretty like the other girls, so why would R. Kelly want me? So when R. Kelly, as she says, pulls her braid down and tells her to, you know, to do her thing, and she says she puts her hands up to stop him, right? But somehow she's able to do the deed to the point where he is able to finish, which means ejaculate, which is some work that she had to do to get him to that point. I know I'm being graphic, but I'm sorry, I gotta do this. Okay. Now, she didn't say, her exact words were, he pulled her braid, and that, what did she say? She said, and she put her hand up. Let's imagine that this was not multi-million-dollar famous R. Kelly. Let's imagine this was Smitty. And I have Smitty on the screen here. And Smitty is a custodian for the local elementary school. I think the minimum wage, is it $15? No, I'm not exactly sure. But Smitty don't even make the daggone $15. He makes $8.25 working at the local elementary school. Smitty is about 5'3". Smitty weighs about, 300, 400 pounds. And this lady goes over and to braid his hair, and the exact same thing happens where Smitty, pulls her braid and everything. We don't hear anything about a gun being held to her head or anything. Is this woman gonna finish Smitty off the way she did R. Kelly? I'm curious. Or is she gonna curse Smitty out and tell him, what the F you talking about? Take her stuff and be up out of there. But because it's R. Kelly and she doesn't see herself as beautiful as the other girls, does she do it to completion, even though there is no threat? She didn't say that she was that she was, what they call when they beat you up with a gun, or a gun held to her head or anything like that. She doesn't say that. She finishes him off. Okay? But this has happened to Smitty, and so that's my question. All these victims who fell for the fame and the money and the fortune of R. Kelly, and they're victims now. Would all of these things happened if this was at the hands of Smitty, the janitor? Just curious. Not saying that they're not victims, but just curious. I definitely don't want to come across like I'm victim shaming here, because I'm not. I promise you that I'm not, because there are real victims out there of rape and abuse. And I think at the end here I might show you a case of an actual real victim, not someone that was starstruck or was looking for fame and fortune from a person and looking for 15 minutes for fame, but real true victims. And I think when we have these women that come out that were participating in threesomes and sex and all these things as groupies. Yes, I said it, groupies. I'm sorry, I'm not going to put them on the same level as true, real victims, because the real victims, they don't get what they deserve. I mean, this last woman here, I mean, what was it, $600,000? And then plus an extra $100,000 she got to keep quiet, $700,000 she got for giving R.Kelly head. That's exactly what she did. I'm sorry, she did not talk about a gun being held to her hand or him, beating her with the butt of the gun or anything like that. I'm going to show you a quick story here of a woman that didn't get $600,000 or $700,000. She didn't get $5, but she was a true victim. But we don't hear her story. We hear the story about R.Kelly because it was sensationalized, and these women get to take advantage of that. You know, what happened to the days of like Corinne Steffen? You know, she wrote, the book where she called everybody out. She understood. I'll give her enough respect to say that she understood clearly what she was, a groupie. Okay. Now all of a sudden these groupies want to reach back 20 and 30 years and claim to be victims. R. Kelly, yes, he was a sick man. I get it. Bill Cosby, he was a horrible adulterer. They took advantage of their power and prestige and fame and money and wealth, but they could not do it if they did not have people that admired and wanted a piece of that fame and wealth and all those sorts of things. I'm not necessarily downing these women, but I want to pump up real victims of sexual abuse. And I'm going to show you a clip here. I'm sorry, these women got their fame and their money and R. Kelly is going to go down. I get that. But my thing is, we're treating these women like they're just helpless creatures, and I just don't see it like that, because if we're going to see women as helpless and unable to make clear decisions when they're faced with fame and money, then we can't trust women to be in any position of authority, if that's what we're saying here. I think they fell for the fame, glory, and money the same way R. Kelly did. I'm sorry, they're not victims. To me, they're accomplices and willing participants. And I cannot feel sorry when there are real victims out there. I just can't seem to do it. Okay, a lot of these women, they wanted, they were hoping that they would, and the men too. There's been some young men that came out and said that they had rap careers and singing careers, and so they went along with these things because they hoped to get on. Well, you didn't. And that's how it goes. If you're not going to do it the right way and you try to sleep your way to the top, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But does a man go to prison for life for that? I don't know. No, he does deserve prison, for the 13-year-old and peeing on her, but he paid their family off and they shut up. So that's not what these charges are about. I know. I'm saying things that aren't pleasant. But we're going to look at this next video, and there's several I could bring up. I'm just going to pick one. Now, this is a real victim. Not to say that those women weren't, but there was no fame, fortune, or money here. This is a true victim. And I think that it's these women's voices that need to be heard, not the voices of these groupies. I'm sorry. So let's take a look at this. Now, that being said, R. Kelly's going to get what he gets, and I get all that, but I want to bring a voice to true, 100% true victims. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And that's going to be the end of this video. I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but thank you guys for being patient with me as I went through my COVID and everything, and hopefully I'll gain some momentum. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. This has been Red Femme Diaries. Goodbye.
New at 6, the Bloomingdale Library attack survivor taking crucial steps today on her road to recovery. The brutal rape 9 years ago, leaving Queena blind, paralyzed, and unable to speak or swallow. Tonight, ABC Action News reporter Carson Chambers shows us her progress and how you can help her continue moving forward.
Queena's therapy sessions are 2 hours of really hard work, but her mom is at every appointment by her side. Still, the family needs your support.
Queena, you're standing up right now, girl. Good job.
Her face is flushed, cheeks sweaty.
Start walking, okay? Move that right foot. Right leg. There you go. Come on, Queena.
Her legs shaking.
Yeah, there you go, girl. Good.
Put it down.
All right, breathe.
Every step is a fight.
So I know it's not easy for her.
Queena can't walk, talk, or see after being brutally attacked at the Bloomingdale Library back in 2008. Now 27 years old, severe brain damage.
She tries so hard.
Means her mom is her 24-hour caretaker, nurse, sometimes doctor, and her trainers take care of the rest.
Lately, we try to get her to laugh. She knows our voices, I think, at least. We yell at her. We like Queena. When she comes in, she gives us a little smile.
A slight smile, an unsteady step, the shaking, all signs Queena is making progress at Stay in Step Spinal Cord Injury Recovery Center. But keeping her here is a huge financial stress on her family.
That lift us up and keep going every day. And we really need.
Queena's sessions are not covered by health insurance. Her family is holding a fundraiser August 6 at Topgolf in Brandon to pay for more time.
Open her hand. That's not easy. See, just like this.
Hours of effort.
I see you trying. Come on.
Well worth these small improvements.
I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court.